Mega Man X has never been a huge fan of death. He doesn't like killing people, and he certainly would never want to see his friends fall in battle. But I wonder if he would change his mind if he got to see this. Taxis aren't the only seemingly mundane objects that can kill Mega Man X. There are plenty of silly little hindrances that can lead to the demise of the main protagonist. Some of these include death by snowball, death by a slowly moving fan, and death by touching a stationary box. Getting killed by a box isn't necessarily the most insane thing that has ever been done in a video game, although typically they're only lethal when they crush you down to the size of a pancake. Another unusual way to get murdered by boxes is accidentally touching the corner of one with your hand. Endless pits are one of the most common causes of death in 2D platformers. Sometimes this can be chalked up to the player's lack of skills, but then there are times when you cannot possibly predict what's going to happen. The best example? Falling into a pit before the word ready goes off the screen. Another classic way that bottomless pits can surprise you is by not showing up on the screen until it's too late. The next thing that I'm going to talk about may not be a way that you can die, but it is something that I find funny. Before you drop down to a stage in Mega Man X4, you get a short description of what the bosses are doing with their lives. My favorite was given to Split Mushroom. He occupies the laboratory and will attack whoever visits there. Think about it this way. Storm Owl is using a space fortress to conquer the air. Jet Stingray destroyed a whole city and went into hiding. Split Mushroom? He's nothing more than a mushroom, just chilling in a laboratory and hoping no one chooses to visit. What's even funnier is that Mega Man X4 and every game that came after it has monologues before each boss battle. Can someone explain to me how the series got to a point where a talking bear named Bamboo Pandemonium gives a short history lesson on rocketry and missiles, talks out against using missiles for violence, and then proceeds to kill me with missiles? Some of the silliest ways to die in Mega Man X are the minuscule things that very slowly drain the life out of you. One good example is the caterpillars from Stink Chameleon stage. If you have enough patience to stand around and let these little critters crawl into you, then they'll eventually bring your energy bar down to 0. Another very small threat is the drops of lava that fall from the pipes in Flame Mammoth stage. Mega Man X can only get hit by these little 1000-degree droplets a few times. Pretty pathetic if you ask me. One of the slowest ways to die in Mega Man X is getting eaten alive by a fish. Normally you'd be able to break out of the fish's stomach with relative ease, but you can choose to be nice and let the fish savor every bite of its meal. But be warned, the fish are very slow eaters. I could go on about other ways for the player to die, but we'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel, so let's talk about the deaths of Mega Man X's allies. By far the most iconic, notable, and sad one is the green biker dude's fatal explosion in Mega Man X2. This man had just 4 seconds worth of screen time, but with that time, he showed more bravery and strength than any normal human would ever be able to muster. I find myself getting teary-eyed every time I start up this game and watch him get blown to smithereens. A slightly less impactful death happens at the end of the first Mega Man X. One of your good friends, Zero, sacrifices himself to destroy Vile's armor. After the battle with Vile, X has his final conversation with Zero. Zero gives his last words, and then fades away. It's kinda sad because he turns into a pile of dust right before your very eyes. There's absolutely no way I could ever see him possibly being brought back to life. He's back. They found a way to bring him back. Zero's death may not be hilarious in itself, but you have to admit that the unfortunate fate of the Reploids from Mega Man X7 is pretty funny. I'm really sorry, Alex, but watching you die is just too entertaining to let you live. Alright. So you've seen Mega Man X die, and you've seen his allies die, but now it's time for you to watch his enemies die. And what better way to start than with the fakest death of all time? While there is a slight chance that this guy may not have purposely ended his own life, there's no denying that the Dragonflies in Neon Tiger stage want nothing more than to escape their pitiful existence. While I played Mega Man X3, they kept on running off the screen and despawning, and I was actively trying to keep them on the screen, but they chose to leave out of their own free will. One of the most embarrassing ways to die, just in general, is by bubbles. I guess it's not so bad if you're Flame Stag, although I have a hard time imagining bubbles are the best way to extinguish a fire. However, it's 100 times more humiliating for Violin. And yes, I know that's probably not how you pronounce his name, but I don't care. Violin is a massive, gruff X-Hunter whose main mission is to kill Mega Man X with a large spike ball. It's cool to see a big dude like Violin fall to a toy designed for infants. We've covered a few very specific instances of enemies getting slaughtered, but now it's time to talk about the best way to kill any enemy in Mega Man X. That's right, you can use the Hadouken to kill any enemy, no matter how small or large, in just one shot. What makes the whole experience even better is Mega Man X's voice. In order to unlock the Hadouken, you have to 100% complete the first Mega Man X game and jump off of the cliff at the end of Armored Armadillo stage 5 times, which is something I figured was topical. Mega Man X2 has the Shoryuken, which essentially works the same way except you cut through the air instead. There's no denying that these insane weapons are the most powerful things in all of Mega Man X, and that they're capable of causing some of the funniest deaths in the series. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, then maybe you should check out some of my other videos. That's pretty much all I have to say, so I will see you later.